What's going on, everyone? I'm AB Sports, and today I am going to reveal my official 2021 NFL season record and playoff predictions for every team. Eventually, I will get to who I will think is going to win the Super Bowl. Let's get into it, starting with the AFC East. This division, I have the Bills running away with it at 14-3. I think they're going to pick up right where they left off from last year. Josh Allen's going to continue to develop and be a real MVP candidate this season. New England in second at 8-9. I think they're going to win more games this year with Mac Jones than they would have had they kept Cam Newton, but I still don't think it's going to be quite enough because I don't think they have enough firepower within their offense among the running backs and the wide receivers and the skill position players. Miami is a little bit lower than most of the media has them, and I just don't buy Tua. I think that Brian Flores is a really good coach, but the defense doesn't have too much outside of Xavier Howard. They kind of had a situationally good defense last year. The Jets at 5-12, I think that might be more wins than others have them, but Zach Wilson looked pretty good in the preseason, had a good connection with Corey Davis. Also, it's not like 5 wins is a lot. It's just more than people might expect. Next up, the AFC North, one of the best divisions in football. I have the Ravens barely ahead of the Browns, 1 game ahead for the division win. But Cleveland's a playoff team. They're the 5 seed at 12-5, the top wild card. Both of these teams are elite. I think they're both top 6 or 7 in the league, loaded rosters. Even with the J.K. Dobbins injury, Baltimore will still be able to move the ball as long as they have Lamar Jackson. Cincinnati, I have at 9-8. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd might be the best wide receiver trio in the entire NFL. If their offensive line can figure it out, I think people forget how good Joe Burrow is. He threw 60 touchdowns his last year in college. And then Pittsburgh at 7-10. If this happens, it would be their first losing season in like 18 years. So I know it's kind of a hot take to have them below 500. But I think Big Ben is old and washed, and the defense can only bring the Steelers so far. AFC South. Titans kind of run away with the division. Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, and A.J. Brown. I had all 4 of them on my top 100 list, pretty decently high up on the top 100 list. So that offensive quartet there is going to help the Titans win a ton of games, even if their defense is a little shaky. The Colts I liked, and then Quentin Nelson and Carson Wentz have training camp injuries where it's a little uncertain now. So they'll have a good defense. Jonathan Taylor should still put up numbers, but I'm not quite sure if the Colts will be able to make it this season. Jacksonville, 7-10. I like what I see from Trevor Lawrence. The Travis Etienne injury hurts, especially because they didn't really need a running back. They could have drafted somebody else with that 25th overall pick, but they have the ability to win games. I think they'll beat Houston twice. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be absolutely spectacular. People are going to be high on the Jags going into 2022. With the way they figure things out and end the season. And then the Texans are horrible, 1-16. They have absolutely no talent with Deshaun Watson not out on the field and DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt traded away. So they're going to be hardly watchable. AFC West, Kansas City rolling 15-2. Los Angeles Chargers, my favorite team that did not make the playoffs last season, who I think is going to be really good this year. Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, and Keenan Allen healthy on the offense. Derwin James back on the defense. Joey Bosa terrorizing off the edge. The Chargers improved their offensive line in free agency in the draft. Herbert's going to continue to develop. He was fantastic, and that was only his rookie year last year. Watch out for the Chargers. Las Vegas and Denver. I don't like either of them. I don't think either of these teams are particularly good or will be challenging for the playoffs. The AFC Playoffs. Chiefs are the 1 seed, Bills are the 2, Ravens the 3, and Titans the 4. Those are the division winners. And then the 5 seed Cleveland, 6 seed Chargers, and 7 seed Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati squeaks into the playoffs ahead of New England and the Colts. I didn't really expect the Bengals to make it, but when I went game by game, they were winning more games than they were losing at 9-8, 1 game above New England and Indianapolis. So we'll see how it goes, but after the AFC playoffs play out, my prediction on which team will make it to the Super Bowl is the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen will carry the Bills through the AFC playoffs and to Super Bowl 56, but who will their opponent be? Let's find out in the NFC. NFC East is a bad division. Dallas will win it. I think, because they have the best offense by a mile with Dak, Zeke, Cooper, Lamb, and Gallup. Washington has a really, really good defense, but the up and down nature of Ryan Fitzpatrick does not match too nicely with this team. It's still a better record than last year when they won the division. I just don't think they're a playoff team because Dallas will be better. Giants, I know people are looking for them to improve. They kind of have a good defense, and they got a hodgepodge of offensive weapons, but you can't be good in the NFL without a good quarterback, and I think Daniel Jones is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. And then the Eagles. I don't buy Jalen Hurts. Offensive skill positions are lacking. I just do not think the Eagles are going to be a very good team. The NFC North, very competitive division. 11-6, the Packers win it. 10-7, the Chicago Bears after Justin Fields takes over in week 4 when they're 1-2. So Fields goes 9-5 with the team, which is very impressive. Minnesota at 9-8, they were in it but couldn't quite get over the hump. I think they're going to be the kind of team where you look at their offensive stats with Cousins and Cook and Thielen and Jefferson, and you look at their defensive stats with Hunter and Harrison Smith, and you just can't figure out why their record isn't better than it is, which that kind of thing usually results in a coach being fired. And then the Detroit Lions, 1-16. Matthew Stafford was the only reason they'd been winning games the last few years, and they traded him away for Jared Goff. NFC South, Bucs win it at 13-4, and I have the Panthers as a sleeper team this year. I think Carolina has the ability to have a really good football team if Sam Darnold can develop well, and I think that Matt Rule and Joe Brady, offensive coaches that aren't Adam Gase, can develop Sam Darnold really well. The Saints, I like Jameis Winston a lot. I'm glad they picked him over Taysom Hill. But looking through their schedule, it is tough. And also the up and down nature of Winston combined with a total lack of reliable offensive weapons outside of Kamara just makes me not really buy this team as a playoff team this year. Their defense also lost a lot of solid contributors because of salary cap problems with the drop from COVID. And then Atlanta's, they're stuck with Matt Ryan's contract for this season and next season, but they can draft a rookie with this top pick they're going to have. The last division is fantastic. The NFC West, all 4 teams with 10 wins or more. The 13-4 Rams, 11-6 Niners, 10-7 Cardinals, and 10-7 Seahawks. This is the best division on paper that I have seen ever before a season started. I've never been so excited to watch a division. The Rams, with their entire team back from last year, except they get Matthew Stafford instead of Jared Goff. The Niners, who lost everybody to injury last season, but the last time they were healthy, they were in the Super Bowl. Arizona, who's got Kyler and Hopkins and can finally start putting it all together on offense with development from those two, and the defense should be a lot better as they've been drafting some linebackers and pass rushers. And Seattle has never been under 500 with Russell Wilson under center, and they still have an absolutely dynamic offense. I do think the Rams are going to win the division, but I think 2, 3, and 4 could go any way. Let's get to the NFC playoffs. Rams are the 1 seed, Bucks are the 2, Green Bay the 3, and Dallas the 4 because they won the division. 5 seed San Francisco, and for the 6 and 7 seeds, there were 4 teams tied at 10-7. The Bears and the Cardinals got the spots for the tiebreaker of conference record. Seattle and Carolina had the same record, but will miss the playoffs after finishing 10-7 if what I predicted comes to pass. But who will make it to the Super Bowl and face the Bills? The Los Angeles Rams and Matthew Stafford take home field advantage to the Super Bowl. And in the Super Bowl, against the Buffalo Bills, Super Bowl 56 champions, with an MVP of Aaron Donald, the Los Angeles Rams. This one will be high scoring, both teams in the 30s, but the Rams will prevail as Aaron Donald proves to be too much for Josh Allen on a final drive. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, how about leaving a like and subscribing to the channel? Leave in the comments below who you think will be in the playoffs this year, and thanks for watching.